Hi everybody, it's Richard here again and welcome to another video. Now this is a response to a video Rob Walker did celebrating his 200th video on the VC, and I thought I would have a go at this as well. Basically what he did, he showed 30 12-inch singles. Now what he did was he made them all from Manchester. I can't do that, so I'm just going to show 30 random ones that I like out of my collection. I actually like them all. And Rob also, he shouted out an awful lot of channels. I am going to shout out one, and that is Mr. Hats, the music chap. Now basically that's Lloyd Boone. He's on his third channel now. The first one was hacked. I'm not too sure what happened to the second one because it's still there, but he can't get into it. So he has started a new channel called Mr. Hats, the music chap, and I think that's a pretty good title. So I'll put a link to both Rob and Lloyd's channel below. Okay, 30 12-inch singles in any sort of order whatsoever. And where will we start with? Right, we'll start with this one. This is my Goldfield, and this is take 4. And basically this is for well, it's not 4 singles, 2 singles plus Sailor's Hornpipe plus Recorder Rondo. So you have Portsmouth and in Dulce Jubilo in this, and it's on white vinyl. Now I'm not going to take the records out because there's 30 of them and they're all in these plastic sleeves, so it will take forever. But this is great. This came out around 1979 and it charted in its own right even after the 2 hits of Portsmouth and the Christmas one. Iggy Pop and Real Wild Child, and this is an extended version and it has the B-side Little Miss Emperor on it, which is another Bowie pop song which didn't get on the album, but I believe it got on the CD from 1986 actually. This is the very first Tom Petty record I bought, and it's I Won't Back Down. It's just your standard version on this, and you get the Apartment song which was on the Full Moon Fever album. But one other song is Don't Treat Me Like a Stranger, which didn't get on any album. And I can understand why, because it's not very good, but I loved this when it came out, and then I went on to buy the Full Moon Fever album, and then I went and got his back catalogue. This is Lou Reed, Street Hassle on one side, and the Velvet Underground's I'm Waiting for the Man, and Venus in Furs on the other. So this was to promote the Street Hassle album, so they put on 2 classic Velvet Underground tracks as well. I think this was about 1978 or so. This is Slade, 6 of the best when Slade were down and out really. And this is 6 tracks, all have been released on albums since this. Some were released on albums before this, but there's one track that's never been released in anything, and that is 9 to 5. But you get the studio version of When I Am Dancing I Ain't Fighting, Night Starvation. It's a really good 6-track EP released in 1980. And this one here is What Difference Does It Make by the Smiths. Now I do have a few Smiths singles. I did have this Charming Man and I've lost it. I remember taking it to a disco or a club or disco, whatever, and whenever I was 21, because I had a party there and I brought that down for him to play and he never gave it back, so I've lost it. But this is one of their better singles, and the reason I like this one is Back to the Old House and These Things Take Time are not the Peel sessions or the studio recordings, which didn't get on Hatful of Hollow, although they did get on the Louder Than Bombs album, which I never bought in vinyl, but I did get it on CD. This one here is Soft Cell Torch, and I'm showing this because the Soft Cell singles, the 12-inch singles, are absolutely brilliant. They're extended and they were even far better than the actual 7-inch singles. I would love to get the Tinted Love 12-inch because it mixes in Tinted Love with Where Did Our Love Go, but it's actually quite expensive now. This one here is Sparks and Tryouts for the Human Race, the 3rd single from Number 1 in Heaven, and it's a classic. I love it. As good as the other 2 singles, Beat the Clock and Number 1 Song in Heaven. Squeeze from 1991, and this is Sunday Street, and this is not a very good song, but it's got 2 brilliant B-sides that weren't on the album, and they are Maidstone and Mood Swings. This is the Style Council, My Everchanging Moods, and now this is the extended version of the band version, and this is the best of the lot. It's really good, and it's got spring, summer, autumn, I think that's what you call it in the B-side. A nice little acoustic number, but I think this is the cover of the Australian version of Cafe Blue and possibly the American one. Now this is Rare Magic by Mark Bolan and T-Rex, and I bought this in 1984 when it came out. This blew my mind because Pewter Suitor, the single by Transverse Rex, is on here, and I'd never even heard it, and to hear it you'd have to shell out about £100 on a single. And it also has the B-side of King of the Rumbling Spires called Do You Remember, Sailor of the Highway, which was on the BBC album, and Demon Queen, which on the Bolan Plus One EP, and then side 2 is The Wizard from the T-Rex album, which sounds great on 12-inch single, so that's one of my favourites. This is Toya. Brilliant song, but I'm picking this because the cover's gorgeous, and it's a pretty cool back cover as well. This is UB40, I Won't Close My Eyes. This is from the first single from UB44. Very underrated album, a very slow song, but I really like this. I initially only had this in 7-inch single, but in the last 3 or 4 years I saw it in 12-inch and got it, and it's very good. This is the Paul Weller movement. So Paul Weller has been so far shown twice. But yeah, this was his very first sort of solo single, although it's credited to the Paul Weller movement, and this got on his debut album, and it's a pretty good track, and I got this very cheap. This goes for a few quid these days. This is XTC and Grass, and this is where you got the Dear God song on the back of the 12-inch, and it's now included on the album. Paul McCartney put it there, and the reason I love this because the song Mama's Little Girl was on this. It was a Wings outtake from about 72 or so, little acoustic number, but pure McCartney. It's really good, and there's an art print in there. Got that when it came out. Kirsty MacColl and Angel, and this is from her Titanic Days album, but this is remixed, and this is the best version. I remember buying this after going for an interview in a record shop. I didn't get it, didn't get the job, but after the interview I had to look through what they had. I'm not too sure where it was. It might have been Lisbon or somewhere, and I found this and I bought it. Yeah, great track. This is The Jam, Paul Weller again, A Town Called Malice, and I bought this when it came out along with the 7-inch single, and I bought this because Town Called Malice is the live version and it is very good, and Precious is extended. This is A Hot House Flowers, Don't Go, and I believe they played this during the Eurovision Song Contest, which was held in Ireland in 1988, and it just became a massive hit after that, but really good. Bit of a Bob Dylan influence, but a great track. This one is Eddie Grant and Do You Feel My Love. It's a reggae song which I've always loved from 1980. I actually do like a lot of Eddie Grant. He was in the Eagles, of course. This is Bruce Foxton, and this is The Way from his Touch Sensitive album. And this was the second single, and by far the best single. This is actually a really good song. It's the best song on the album as well. So I bought it in 12-inch and 7-inch. I also got the 12-inch of the third single, It Makes Me Wonder, but only the 7-inch of the song Freak, which was not very good. This is the Electric Light Orchestra and Getting to the Point, and this was their last single with their first run, 1986, and this goes for a few quid as well. And it's a standard enough song, but the reason I wanted this, I saw it very cheap in an indoor market for 50p or something, but it has an ELO medley on it which is unofficial, but it's really good, so glad to have that. This is Elvis Costello and Attractions, Every Day I Write the Book, from 1983, and this is from the Punch the Clock album, and this is one of his best ever songs. We're getting down here. Julian Cop, Beautiful Love EP. Absolutely adored the song Beautiful Love. Never a big fan of Julian Cop, even with The Teardrop Explodes, but I loved this song and had to get it. And we have the Clash Rock the Casbah, which I bought a year after it was released. I bought it in 1983 whenever it was over in, where was I? It was in Edinburgh, going to a David Bowie concert, and we went through the record shops and there it was. And I bought it for Mustafa Dance, which is a dance version of the title track, which is actually much better. Always liked it. This is Big Country and their debut Harvest Home, one of the best tracks off The Crossing. Brilliant song. This is Adam and the Ants Ant Music EP, which came out in 1982, and this gathers together some of the tracks recorded around the time of Dirk Wears White Socks. So you get Kick, Physical and Friends, plus you get like a remix of Car Trouble Part 1 and Car Trouble Part 2, although those two songs are split. One is inside one and the other is inside two, which is a bit weird, but it's a really good EP. This is a very, very guilty pleasure, bought in Magaluf in 1985, I think, and it's You Can Win If You Want by Modern Talking. I loved it. It was playing in all the bars and the clubs, so I bought it. And two more, and this is Echo and the Bunnyman and Silver from their Ocean Rain album. I said in a previous video I had this in 12-inch, and here's the proof. Really, really good track. It's extended version as well. And lastly, we have the very first 12-inch single I ever bought in 1980, and it was Fashion by David Bowie. And to be honest, I was a little bit disappointed in this because it was exactly the same as the LP version which I had, and Scream Like a Baby was the same as the LP version which I had, and that was it. But still, I wanted it. I wanted the 12-inch because I had the 7-inch, and I always liked that cover too. That cover was then used for the Best of Bowie in 1980. So, first one ever bought, David Bowie, Fashion. Okay, so that's my response to Rob's video. I hope you enjoyed that, and congratulations again, Rob, on hitting the 200. I know he goes in and out. Sometimes he does a lot of videos, sometimes he can go for about 3 months without doing anything, but it's always good to see whenever he does upload. Okay, that's me for now. All the best. Bye bye.